Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday workouts. We are going to start with 3 minutes of your choice warm-up pace cardio, and then grab your PVC pipe. When you have a PVC pipe, we're going to do a little overhead warm-up, squat warm-up to prep for our strength and our conditioning. So give me 8 PVC pass-throughs. Then we're going to do 5 slow overhead squats. So the point of this is feeling your balance at the different points of the squat. A lot of times we feel comfortable up top, we feel comfortable in the bottom, but somewhere in the middle here, there's this kind of awkward balancing phase. That's where the bar should be traveling behind the body and the hips should be pressing back to keep the weight on the heels, right? So I want to go slow so I can feel the balance or feel where I start to feel unstable, and you can kind of zoom in on those small segments of the movement. It will help you feel more comfortable when you get to actually doing them in the workout. Please warm up with a PVC pipe and overhead squats. Even if you're going to do front squats for the workout, just to work on that mobility. You do not have to do them in the workout if it would cause another joint to compensate for lack of shoulder mobility, or if it would bug your wrists or your shoulders or anything else that would be anatomically not beneficial for you. Okay, next we're going to do some progressive depth snatch balances. So snatch balance is essentially like a tall clean, but it's from behind the neck, right? So I'll start with the bar right here, drop myself to that power position, and then the next rep I want to drop just a little bit lower, and then the next rep drop all the way to the bottom, and I can practice catching that bar at a really, really low position. It's a fantastic exercise for working on stability in the overhead position, especially when you're catching from the snatch, right? And then the last exercise will be a narrow grip lat pull down from a band that is notched in the overhead position, right? So I have this band overhead on the rig. I'm gonna grab underhand, 2 hands, walk back a little ways, and then pull narrow grip straight down to my chest to warm up the lats and all my pulling complex muscles and get me ready for the pull-ups we're gonna do in the workout, okay? All right, back squats is the primary lift. This is our last heavy triples before we go into heavy singles next week. So just follow the percentages listed in SugarWOD. If you easily beat your percentages, that is a indicator that your max has gone up and we need to adjust your percentages. You'll get a chance to do that next week when we do our 1 rep maxes. And as long as you're logging stuff progressively every week and trying to beat the previous week in terms of percentages and reps, then we know that is evidence that you are getting stronger, okay? So the statement that we always made back in Navy days was that you get what you inspect, not what you expect. If you never record what you are doing, it is likely that you'll get stronger, but it's not guaranteed. If you constantly are focused on tracking your data, then you will know very, very clearly that 3 reps I did 150 pounds this time, last time I can only do 140. That is clear evidence that my muscles has gotten stronger, okay? So we're gonna do our back squats. When we finish that, the bars can go down to the floor, and we're gonna do a combo squat pull-up workout. This should be a relatively quick workout. However, muscle endurance is going to be a factor because we're gonna do sets of 15. So it's 3 rounds through of this little couplet of overhead squats and pull-ups, right? So from the ground, if you would like to perform the first rep as a squat snatch, that is fine. If you want to do a power clean and then put it behind your head and then walk your hands out and then jump it up and then do your squat, you can do that too. That's a little bit more safe and slow and stable. But either way, any way you slice it, we're gonna do 15 reps of a weighted squat. The prescribed weight is 105 and 75. That is our RX weight for today. If overhead squat, like I said previously, causes you to bend your elbows, or you're holding in a really awkward position, or you have to arch and extend your back in order to get that bar to stay over your head, do not do the overhead squat. Do not risk injuring another joint just for the satisfaction of saying that I did the prescribed movement. It's not worth it. It's not what I want you to do, and it's not what your future self wants you to do either. What you should do is load up and get a challenging weight on the bar, and then do either a front squat, a back squat, a goblet squat, a Zercher squat. You can do all kinds of other funky squats that do not force you into an awkward back position or mess with your wrists and elbows, okay? So again, this one is for people who are very comfortable in that overhead position. The other thing I would rather you not do is super, super light overhead squats. because that kind of blunts the metabolic impact of the workout. So there has to be enough weight, just like yesterday on Elizabeth, there has to be enough weight in order to get your heart rate up to make this a worthwhile investment of metabolic expenditure, right? So try to get as close to the prescribed weights as you can, or the challenging weights as you can, even if the movement is not the same that is prescribed here. So like I said, front squat, Zercher squat, back squat, any of those are fine as long as they are heavy enough and we're not just avoiding the overhead squat because it's a little bit scary and it's unstable overhead, okay? So make sure you know how to ditch it and make sure that you've got the right combination of weight and movement selection there too, okay? The other movement is pull-ups, so nothing fancy here. This is our standard pull-up, arm straight, chin over the bar, and kipping is allowed. So if you have 2 to 4 strict pull-ups in the bag, then you're allowed to do your kipping pull-ups. It's a fine time to do jumping pull-ups or band-assisted pull-ups. Any way that will be reasonably challenging for you. And then just make sure that when you do your kipping pull-ups that no more than 2 breaks per round, maybe on the last round 3 breaks. I want you to be very fatigued, but I don't want you to be doing singles. That just means we picked too high on the resistance scale for you for today, all right? And that is it for today. I want you to get that workout done fast, think 6 minutes on the workout. Which is it's a pretty tall order, but it's definitely achievable. And then after today, we're gonna slow it down significantly for our workout programming as we go in towards our max out week next week. All right, have a great one. I'll see you guys on Thursday. I'm sorry, I'll see you guys on Friday. Haha.